How's it going, sketty peeps? It's me, Pocket Man, because I'm not a pocket monster. I'm more of a Poke fan. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a Pokemon fan. I'm a bit of a Pokemon enjoyer, as some would say. But I wouldn't say I'm a Pokemon lover, and I only say that because I'm not. I don't avidly watch the anime, I don't avidly keep up with the games, and I haven't kept up with the trading card game or even consistently collected for an extended period of time outside of, when Pokemon first came out and it was the big thing on everyone's mind. But I do still like it a lot. It was a huge part of my childhood. I even got it tattooed right here. It's my boy Kyogre. I was really into the games, the show, and collecting cards, just like everybody was. I was your standard 90s kid, and I even try not to call myself a 90s kid because I was born in the late 90s, so I was more of a 90s infant, but who says I was a 2000s kid, right? It was weirdo. I do sometimes like to claim it just because I had an older brother. He was about 10 years older than me, and off the get, he exposed me to a lot of things that were 90s kid things, like Sega Genesis, Game Gear, Game Boy, PlayStation 1, magazines like Nintendo Power and Game Informer. Those were all like big parts of my childhood. And so I guess I'll call it love. My love for Pokemon started when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I got my very first Game Boy, and along with it was a copy of Pokemon Silver. But just like I was an infant when Pokemon was an infant when it first came out back in '96, I barely knew what was going on. Just to show you how bad I was at the game at the time, I only made it to the Lake of Rage, and I didn't even catch the shiny Gyarados. But I still collected the cards. I still watched the cartoons every Saturday morning on WB Kids, and I still got the games as they came out. And it wasn't until the third generation, Pokemon Sapphire, that I really understood what I was playing and really started enjoying it. And that's sort of an ode as to why I got this Kyogre tattoo. But just to get into that a little bit deeper, so I obviously, for that generation, I got Pokemon Sapphire, played it all through, and I loved it. And then Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out with their little Wi-Fi adapter so that you could trade wirelessly instead of through the wire, which was insane. And with that, it was easier for me to trade. So then I had an idea where I would trade my Kyogre to one of my friends and then restart the game. And then once I grew to a high enough, like, I don't know, there were these like respect levels that you attained after you got each badge. So once I got that badge, I would have my friend trade it back to me, and then I would go up against the Elite Four with 2 Kyogres instead of 1. And then fast forward some more, the third time that I Pokemon Sapphire was because of, I believe, the 5th generation had come out, or maybe it was the 4th. It was the first game that came out for the DS, and you were able to trade to yourself with a Game Boy Advance game to the DS game. So if you had Pokemon Sapphire, plug it in, and then get your Pokemon Pearl or Diamond booted. I had Pokemon Diamond, and then you could trade yourself whatever Pokemon were, in the DS console. So that was huge, and then I started like just transferring all my Pokemon to Pokemon Diamond, and then I really wanted to have them all instead of just catching them all. I wanted to have them all on that one Pokemon Diamond. So then I had a friend of mine let me borrow his Pokemon Ruby, played through all of Ruby, transferred all my Pokemon, and then I played through all of Emerald, transferred all my Pokemon, had all of Emerald. So I basically played the same game 5 times. So that's why 3rd gen will always be my favorite, and that's why I got my boy Kyogre tattooed on me. For the most part, I've been kind of on and off, and so most recently I played Pokemon Sword, and then I got my Switch stolen, so sad day. I really wanted to play Pokemon Snap, which I had pre-ordered right before I got it stolen, so that sucks. So hopefully I'll get a Switch soon, and I'll get to play it again and maybe play the new Pokemon that's come out. And then, as you'll hear me talk in this card opening, I used to play the trading card game competitively back in 2016, and the reason for that, shout out to Maximofo Pokemon playing in the background over there. He was doing his pack for pack series, and iDubbbz had become a big thing as well, and they did a pack for pack, and so that kind of birthed me and my friends going out and buying some packs, opening them up, and that nostalgia just hit us like a tsunami. And if you remember in my first video, I mentioned the Pokemon card opening to do a short or a reel just to get my feet wet into this whole YouTube deal. Or I decided to upload the full-length 3.5-minute video I shot. I also condensed it down so that it could be a minute long, which is the requirement length for YouTube Short. I essentially wanted to put it out so that way it could circle back to my channel. And so I thought this would be a good excuse to talk a bit about myself again. And I promise I'm going to start doing more like research-based videos rather than this is all about me videos, because I understand that that's not what everyone is going out and looking for. That comes after the fame is when people want to get to know you, right? I hope you enjoy this, technically the first video I ever shot for the purpose of YouTube Esqueti. While I was at the store today, I found this little Pokemon Go tin here, and I thought it'd be appropriate to whip out my old EG playing mat. I used to play competitively, and never got all that good. This was circa 2016, 2017. And then yeah, I'm a big fan of Max Mofo, card opening and all that good stuff, so I thought I'd give my crack at it. So yeah, let's just get to it. Little Pokemon Go G10. It said it had a couple booster packs in it that are Pokemon Go specific. I didn't even know that they released those, but I've been out of the TCG game for a while. Nice little fat coin. When I played, they were a lot smaller. So that's interesting that they've made them a lot bigger. There was this little special Pokemon art card showing the art from this mini tin. You collect and combine all 5. So it probably just makes a big picture. Got some stats from Snorlax there. Pretty neat. I don't know if I'm going to collect all of those, but I guess that's the name of the game, right? Gotta collect them all. I used to know the rules for, 1, 2, 3 to the front, to the back. That way you get the hollow or the full art in the very back. I'm not sure how these work. They change all the time. We'll just go 1, 2, 3 to the front. Maybe discard. Is this an energy? It is not. So hopefully it's something like that. But, well, let's show what that was. That was a Camerupt. Got ourselves an Unpheasant. Rare Candy. Charmander, oh man. Oh, and it's got, they all have the Pokemon logos on them, so that's cool. I just noticed that. Apom, Bulbasaur, Numel, Raticate, Charmander, little reverse hollow there. And we got is that a full, yeah, full art V. I don't think that's V Max, or is it? Did they take out the word Max now? I guess. But yeah, sick. Got an Alolan Executor. Got one more pack to go. Gosh, sometimes these are impossible to open. I wonder if it was 1, 2, 3 to the front. Discard. Yes, look at that. Okay, 1, 2, 3 to the front, and then discard the energy. And then let's see what we got. All right, we got a nice little Steelix there. I should have moved this camera closer down. Sawtooth. Ooh, Pokestop. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that's unique. Ambipom. Slowpoke. Onix. Charmander. Bidoof. Or Bidoof. Reverse Holo Charmander again. And yes! So Dragonite's top tier pseudo legendary Hyper Beam Buster Tail. So that's awesome. So there's our pools. Excellent. And then, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this again. Maybe.